My family immigrated to Mexico. I was first generation. And I got 2 brothers and 1 sister. I'm the youngest. My older brother is a dentist. My oldest brother is in business. My sister is just married with a bunch of children. And Mexico City is a good place to grow. At the time when I was in Mexico City, there were 6 million people. 1967, I left. Today in 2006, well over 28 million people. It's the largest city in the world. I had 2 boys and 1 girl. And the oldest boy is a lawyer. The middle one teaches martial arts. And my daughter is into alternative medicine in San Francisco. She really is deep into alternative medicine, into all forms. She went to school, San Francisco, the Chinese School of Medicine there, which is a 4-year program. And I have 7 grandchildren. When I finished medical school, I worked with a gynecologist for a couple of years. And I didn't want to do gynecology, that's for sure. I didn't want to do surgery either, and I needed to do something different. So I applied to a bunch of hospitals in the United States, took an examination, and migrated to the United States with the idea of going back to Mexico after my training. But one thing and another leads to you stay. I went to Philadelphia for a couple of years, and then I came to Houston and worked at Baylor. I started being a fellow and ended up being an associate professor. At that time when they introduced CAT scan in England, the original research of the CAT scan, and there's a guy who came around with a little videotape showing pictures of a CAT scan of the brain. I looked at the pictures and I was fascinated. I said, my God, this is something fantastic. I said, I got to get involved in this. Being a part of the technology, and you got to understand, I'm a nuclear medicine physician. I'm not a radiologist, but I like technology a lot. And so I look around, and went and talked to all the big shots at Baylor. I went to the Department of Medicine, Radiology, and every place. And they told me I was crazy. Why don't we want to get this machine in the hospital? I said, this is a fantastic deal. I mean, this instrument is revolutionary. And they thought that was a research instrument that was very interesting. At the point that the chairman made to me, they were very interested. Nobody want to do it. So I went to the radiology department at St. Luke's. There was a famous radiologist, Ed Singleton. And I talked to Ed. He was a good friend of mine. I said, Ed, we gotta get this machine. I said, no, this is for nuclear medicine. He said, we don't like computers. We radiologists don't mess around with computers. What he said to me at the time. So I was very frustrated. So I quit Baylor. And an open office in a building that was under construction, which today is the University of Texas, building 7,000 funding. But Bob Adams, who was the owner of the Oilers, wanted to build a hospital for him. And he had a plan to build a hospital, so he put a professional building called the Doctor Center at the time. That was 1972, 71. And I went over there and I said, I want to leave some space here. And the guy said, you're crazy, this is in the construction. I said, well, but I got to have an office. So the guy was very nice to me. I mean, he always was nice. So he brought me downstairs to the mall level, underground. And he showed me the space. He said, we can maybe fix some space for you here. I said, well, I'd love to have here. I'd love to be here. So I was actually the first doctor in that building. But what I did is I started with nuclear medicine. I started with the gamma camera. At that time was $110,000. So I went to every bank trying to convince people that the way to go is to be outpatient. And people thought I was crazy. All the bankers said, you're a risk. They told me I was a risk. First of all, I didn't have any money. And secondly, there was no way that they were going to finance somebody for a machine that was very expensive. $110,000 probably the most expensive machine existed at the time. there was a radiological society meeting in Houston. The big shots from all over the country came, And I made a presentation there, and I talked about an imaging center, and one of the chairmen of the department, which is the hospital, I'm not going to mention about it, got up, and he said, we hear so much about you, Calderon. He knew about me, I didn't know about the guy. He said that you're talking about an imaging center, you might be talking about an imaginary center, because imaging is not even a word in the dictionary. And I said, well, I don't know, but I'll tell you, this is going to happen. I don't care what you look at it, it's going to happen. In the building, in the doctor center building, they begin to bring doctors into the building. They brought a pathologist from MD Anderson. They want to do a laboratory over there, a clinical laboratory. And the pathologist was a guy from Panama. He became the chairman of the Department of Pathology later on. Jose Trujillo is his name. He knew a guy at General Electric. Somehow the company formed in Massachusetts, a group of MIT, who built a machine, a CAT scan machine that was a total body scanner. It used to be called the ACTA scanner. So General Electric started a new venture, the medical division, which is now one of the largest parts of the division, by the way, bought the rights to that machine. It was a total body scanner. Instead of only doing heads, they did an all body scan. And they built a couple machines. One they put at Cleveland Clinic and the other at Mayo Clinic, and they were building a third machine. Dr. Trujillo knew Fred Espinosa very well because MD Anderson bought their counters, the blood counters. It was an automatic blood counter. When Fred Espinosa called me, he said, Marcos, he used to call me Marcos. I'm very, 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 very interested in making a change in this. I want to maybe put a total body scanner in your office. But I said, I don't have $700,000. I said, you're talking to a guy who's a Mickey Mouse. I'm very poor. I said, don't worry, we'll finance it for you. So within 3 months, we have total body scan in that office. It was probably the third or the fourth in the country. But it wasn't a matter of business. To me, it was a matter of technology, a matter of being in the front run of medicine. The business side came along because I had no competition. But I wasn't in my mind. My mind I was far removed about how much money I was going to make. I was very excited about the technology. I was extremely excited because there was something that really made a difference in healthcare. For the first time, you were able to see inside of the body. For the first time, you're able to see without having to cut. Exploratory surgery doesn't exist. So that alone showed you the fantastic improvement that medicine went through. Just that CAT scan machine is there. We learned more in the last 50 years of medicine, when the installation of nuclear medicine and newer fields and the introduction of the CAT scan machine, than the entire history of mankind history, medical history, 10,000 years of medical history. They review things, system. What else? We've been very, very, very lucky in having fantastic people. I mean, if anything I can tell you is that the people we have is the greatest asset in this place. But most of them are multitask people. They can do many tasks. And they're extremely loyal. And I think that loyalty is reflected by the way they take care of the patient. Their approach to the patient is magnificent. They're very kind. They spend the time. They give me lots of love. And they know how I feel about it. To me, the priority of this place has been and will always be the patient, no matter what. Whether he has money or don't have money, whether he's poor, whether he's rich, we will get the same treatment to everybody. People feel good when they come here. And when they go back to the doctors, they tell the doctors that they were in a good place. And when the doctor wants to send them back for a test, the patient wants to come back over here.